What's up, everybody? It's your girl. No, I'm just kidding. But I hope everyone has had a great day. This is my first week back from spring break. It's that Friday, so I've had the whole week. Y'all, I miss it. I want to go back. Take me back. I don't want to be here. But no, actually, it was a pretty good week if I'm being completely honest. As far as my spring break, I got home, I believe that Friday, and just kind of chilled for a little bit. And then Monday, we were getting ready to go to Tampa, and then we went to Tampa. We left Tuesday, came back Friday. So we got in basically Tuesday night, and so we just had Chipotle or whatever. But then on Wednesday, we went to Busch Gardens, Tampa, and y'all, I had such a good day. I was really worried though, because when you walk in, you can see most of the rides, but you can not all of them necessarily run at the beginning of the day. Some rides require more maintenance, and one of those rides is the ones that I wanted to ride the most, which is Iron Gwazi. And Iron Gwazi is a relatively new attraction. I think it opened in 2022. Though, frankly, even if it opened like 10 years ago, the manufacturer who made it, they typically don't run like on time unless you have a really well operated park. And no beef with Busch Gardens, but y'all are not like pre-merger Cedar Fair, so I didn't have high hopes. But anyway, we walked in, it wasn't running yet, and I'm like, okay, go figure. So we wait in line about an hour, talk to the maintenance people, and they're still like, hey, y'all can stay if you want, but we don't know how much longer it's going to be. Our recommendation is to go ride other stuff. So we were like, all right, that's fine. So we ride SheiKra, which is a dive coaster. It was great. We ride Tigris, my first ever Skyrocket 2. That one was mid, but I'm happy I did it. And then at this point, we're getting ready to ride the drop tower. Now, y'all, I was on the fence about this because it's 335 feet tall, and it not only just takes you up, but it tilts you down, and then you plunge. So I was like, oh, okay. But I really thought about it, and I'm like, well, my whole beef with drop towers is I don't like that feeling in your stomach. And because studied is the wrong word, but I'm going to just say it anyway. Because I've studied roller coasters for so long, I can usually anticipate how a ride's going to feel. And I'm like, well, every time I'm face down, I don't get that, like, feeling in your stomach because the force that your body is going under when you have the contradictory forces of gravity versus like how you're physically being pulled down is different when you're face down versus sitting upright. So I'm like, hold on a minute, y'all. I think this would actually feel pretty good. And I'm like, I did not just fly all the way down here to sit and look at this. I'm riding it. I don't care. So I get in line, we're going up. I'm getting all nervous. I'm like, oh, I'm praying on my way up. I'm like, Lord, I have no reason to fear. You are with me. I can do this, okay? And the little girls next to me, mind you, they're probably like, I don't know, 4th grade. And they're fine. Actually, no, they were kind of freaking out a little bit. I was like, guys, no, we got this. We can do it or whatever. And so we're all huddled up together, ready to go. It tilts you downward. And it tells you pretty far, actually. Like, I don't want to say you're parallel to the ground, but you're pretty close. And, bro, we fell. It was the most peaceful feeling ever. Like, I've been cliff jumping before, which you basically jump, but you look like a pencil. So it's similar to the forces that you feel when you're sitting down on a drop tower because you're still, like, upright instead of face down. And I didn't like it. I mean, I liked jumping. It was cool. And, like, hitting the water. That was fun. But you still got that free fall feeling in your stomach, which I did not like. But it was only, like, 2 seconds. So we still jumped for quite a while. But anyway, you didn't get any of that on this drop tower. So it was just pure bliss. I felt like I was flying. I was like, is this how birds feel? Like, I'm trying to be like them. What? Oh, it was so much fun. Highly would recommend. So after we did that, we walked over to Montu. We were going to do Cheetah Hunt, which is like one of their family rides, but it was temporarily unavailable. And I was like, rats. All right. So we walked past Cobra's Curse, another family ride, that had a 140-minute wait. Are you kidding me? Over 2 hours for a family coaster? Nah. So we went and did Montu, which is a B&M invert. If you've ever done Banshee at Kings Island or Raptor at Cedar Point, it's basically that, except it's better than both of them in my opinion. I absolutely loved that. Favorite invert of all time. It was so, so awesome. And also, quite notably, their bathrooms are amazing. I walk in, it smelled like vanilla in here. I'm like, wait, because now I actually want to take a dump. What? It was wonderful. And it was AC, so that was very nice. And then Montu is themed to a pharaoh, and they had like this little thingy where if you look at a button, but the button's hidden, a pharaoh will appear in the mirror and stare at you. We didn't know that, but one of the people like cleaning the bathrooms came in, and she told my friend, look at the button. And so she's looking down. She's like, what are you talking about? And then the pharaoh pops up. Oh, it was so funny. So that was cool. And then we walked past the 2 rides I mentioned earlier again. I checked the wait. Iron Gwazi, the one we were waiting for at the very beginning, where the maintenance people told us to go ahead and go, still had not been open yet. And this park is only open on this day from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m., which is, a fairly decent amount of time, but I'm used to like 10 to 10. So I was doing the math. It was like, I don't know, 3 o'clock, I think, because it was about halfway through the day and the ride still wasn't open. At this point, I'm getting worried because I don't know how well run Busch Gardens is. If you're familiar with SeaWorld, it's the same people. It's just called something else. But I didn't know. Like, I know they ran their parks pretty well, but in terms of like dealing with maintenance, I had no idea. So I was getting nervous. Like, okay, the park's been open half the day. They're probably just gonna be like, you know what, we tried, whatever. But I still had hope because the app said temporarily unavailable instead of closed. So I was like, okay, maybe all hope is not lost. So we walk back over to their newest attraction, which is yet another family coaster. They love their family coasters down there, y'all. We're riding it for a brand new ride. It kind of had a rattle to it. I was like, now hold on a minute. Is this not brand new? But it was still so much fun. It was so cute. We had a good time. But the wait, they were only running one train, so we were not moving in the line. So even though, like, some rides you wait an hour, but it doesn't feel like an hour because you're constantly moving forward, that one felt like an hour because we were just standing still. Also, pro tip, bring a portable charger to an amusement park and watch a TV show. We were watching The Mole on Netflix. Oh my goodness, it made every line so much better because we were just like binging the whole season. It was so much fun, honestly. Like, I would highly recommend doing that. After that, what do we do next? At this point, I think Cheetah Hunt did open because that was the one that was temporarily unavailable, the family one. But it had like a 90-minute wait. I'm like, I'm not doing that. And so they walked past that one to Cobra's Curse, the one that was 140 minutes. Now it's down to 60. And I'm like, I don't think it's ever going to get this low. Let's just hop in line. Plus, most of the queue, which is the line you wait in, was indoors. So we're like, okay, period. Like, we'll be good away from the sun. So we're waiting for that one. It was cute. I liked it. But I'm still like, is Iron Gwazi going to open? Like, this is the whole reason I wanted to come to Florida, period. Like, when most people think of Florida, they think of beaches, they think of sunshine. No. I just wanted to ride this one roller coaster. So I was, like, kind of flipping out a little bit. But we get out of that line. Now it's 5:20-ish, something like that. I checked the app, and it says 40-minute wait. And I'm like, what? Oh, my goodness, guys, it's open. So I run over there. And then, like, as we're getting over there, it says temporarily unavailable again. I'm like, oh, you gotta be kidding me. So I'm like, well, let's just talk to maintenance. So we talked to the maintenance people. And they're like, we are trying to get this open before the end of the day. We just don't have an estimate for when it's going to open. So I'm like, okay, that's good. At least they're trying to be like, okay, we're going to open it. We're trying to do our best. We're not just going to give up. And that gave me hope. So I was like, all right. We go back over. Maybe that's when we did Cobra's Curse. No, I think we went shopping or something. I don't know. We killed some time. And then eventually we saw it reopen again, 20-minute wait. And we're like, okay, we got to go now before they, like, close it again. So we get over there. By the time we're over there, it's like a 40-minute wait. And I'm like, trust me, we waited like an hour for the family coaster. I would wait 3 hours for this one. It is that good. And so my friend's kind of flipping out because this coaster, I will say, it is intimidating to look at, especially in a park like Busch Gardens, where most of their rides are pretty small. This one's 206 feet tall, 91-degree drop, going like 76 miles an hour. Like, if you're not a coaster enthusiast, and frankly, even if you are to some extent, it is a very intimidating structure. But I was hyped. I knew it was about to be my new number one. Like, I was so ready to ride. And my friend's like, and I don't know if I can do it. And I said, girl, yes, you can. You're going to regret it. So I'm hyping her up. She's hyping herself up. And we get to the line. I'm like, let's go back row. She's like, Anna, no. I'm like, you know what? I have been there. I used to be so afraid of roller coasters. So, like, we don't got to go back row. Plus, she's kind of letting me take the reins on this day because this is the thing that I wanted to do. The very least I could do is compromise. So we sit, like, toward the back, but not quite, like, the back car. I think we were, like, third to back car. I don't remember. Anyway, we're riding. I get off, and low-key, y'all, I'm kind of disappointed. I'm trying to hide it because, like, I'm so excited it finally opened. But I was like, that just did not live up to the hype. So I look at my friend. I'm like, you know what? I think we need a back row ride. And she absolutely loved it. So she was like, yes, of course. So we end up skipping Cheetah Hunt, which is the one that was unavailable earlier that had reopened. But I was like, you know what? If we have to skip one, that is one to skip. Because in the roller coaster enthusiast community, that is universally a ride that is clowned on. Because it just makes no sense as a ride itself. Okay, let me break it down. For a family coaster, you've got a couple elements. You want to make sure it's a little more intense than like your average teeny tiny kiddie coaster. So you want a little bit of speed, a little bit of turn, something for everybody to enjoy. But this roller coaster has an inversion, which means it goes upside down. That is intimidating to little kids. Most kids would rather ride a taller roller coaster than one that goes upside down. I don't understand that personally, but I'm not like a child, so how would I know? But anyway, so it's really confusing because if it goes upside down in basically the eyes of the community, that means it's a thrill coaster. But if you look at Cheetah Hunt and its layout, it is boring compared to like most roller coasters that go upside down. So it's really just having an identity crisis. So I was like, you know what? That is one we can skip. I'm not worried about it. I would much rather do Iron Gwazi in the back row. So we get in line. I think it's like another 40 minutes or so. But that line moves, so not a problem at all. And y'all, when we got off, that's when it hit. I was like, okay, now I get the hype now. This is my number one. Like, I can finally breathe. Like, it was worth it. Okay. All is well. Oh, but y'all, there for a minute, I was very, very nervous. I'm not even going to lie. I was praying in the bathroom. I was like, Lord, please let this open. Like, I'm trying to give this to you. Lord, I cast all my anxiety onto you. Like, you can do this. You've conquered all things. Surely you can open a roller coaster. And even if you can't, that's part of my plan. That's okay. But I'm not even going to lie, y'all. I really wanted it to be open. So I'm so thankful that it did. And I'm really happy that my friend liked it too. Because it'd be really bad if I'm hyping up this roller coaster all day. And she's like, Anna, that sucked. But no, her mind was blown. It was great. Very, very, very successful day at Busch Gardens, Tampa. I'd highly recommend going. They have lots of zoo animals as well. Walking around, we see like flamingos. We see elephants. They smell, I'm not going to lie. But for a park with a lot of animals, it did smell pretty nice. So, got to give them props there. They also had penguins, which we really liked, and then some alligators. They had other stuff too and shows and things like that, but we skipped most of it just so we could get to all the rides. But I'd highly recommend. It's such a good place. And then the next day, she gets to pick because, like one day for me, one day for her, and she wanted to go to this museum. So we go to the museum. It's nice. It's chill. We get some souvenirs. She gets some stickers. And we head back, and then we're like, you know what? Let's go to the beach. So we're like, okay, cool. Let's go to the beach. The problem is, it's a $50, no, I think it was like almost $70 Uber ride one way. And I'm like, that is steep. And she's like, yeah, we're not doing that. So I'm like, all right, well, you want to go to the beach. At least we could like go tan or something. She's like, yeah, we can go tan by the pool. I'm like, okay, awesome. So we tan by the pool for like, I don't know, 3 hours or so. So we got a little bit of sun. Obviously the beach would have been cooler, but 140 is crazy. Oh, that is the only thing I will say about Busch Gardens. It is expensive. It is a very expensive park. So if you actually do want to go, keep that in mind because it is crazy down there. I mean, it's cheaper than Disney, but still pretty expensive. But lucky for us, this girl at the hotel, because the hotel, it's not affiliated with Busch Gardens, but they had like some sort of deal worked out, so I didn't have to pay any taxes and fees on the tickets, which sign me up for that. But she was like, if you have all cash, I can sell you this ticket for $50. I'm really not supposed to tell you about it, though. And I'm like, that sounds sketchy. What? But then we really think about it. I'm like, well, we have her name. We have her badge. Like, whatever. We can surely tell her coworkers. Like, we could track her down if she's trying to scam us. And the ticket ended up working, so we saved $50, which I am here for. And also, if you do go, make sure to get the all-day dining, but just for one person. You get a free entree, which comes with a side on its own, an additional side or dessert, and then a drink every hour and a half. So we, like, split it each time. And honestly, even if you split it, that's enough. It kept us both full. But you get it every hour and a half. So honestly, if you're going, especially if you're only going with, like, a couple people, that is the move right there. Because then it's like $50 total, and you get it for the entire day. And each meal there, if you weren't to do that, is like $20. So you're really saving money pretty quickly. But I would highly recommend going. It's so much fun. Anyway, back to the second day. After we tan, we like order food, whatever, and then we head back the next day in the morning. So overall, a very nice trip. And then I just kind of relaxed the last couple days. But, whew, I'm telling y'all, not good for my heart not knowing that Iron Gwazi was going to open. I was like, ooh, this is very, very scary. Because honestly, if you ask a lot of people what are their favorite roller coasters, if they've ridden Iron Gwazi, there is a good chance that that one is their favorite. Even if you consider like international countries and things like that. Like it's top dog. It is really, really, really good. Personally, I'm trying to go to Germany and find out for myself if it's truly the best versus some of the stuff they got over there. But, I'm not made of money, so we're going to have to see about that one. But yeah, that's pretty much my spring break. It was very relaxing. Got to ride roller coasters, my favorite thing. So in general, it was really good. So I hope y'all, I don't know if y'all have spring break or if you already had it. I feel like most schools had it way before we did, but whatever. I hope it was good. If you're back at school, hope your things are going well, things of that nature. But I'll catch y'all later. Have a very nice rest of your day.